Io poi in chiusura presenterò il NALUG e l'ACLAB che hanno anche collaborato per la realizzazione di questo evento. La parola a Richard Stallman.
I have some possibly bad news. There will not be translation today because they can't do simultaneous translation and there's no time for consecutive translation. I did tell them this weeks ago, but oh well. So you'll just have to listen to me in English. And all I can do is express my regrets to those who would have needed translation. What is free software? Free software means software that respects the user's freedom. When software is not free, that means it is proprietary software, non-free software. Proprietary software keeps the users divided and helpless. Divide and conquer. They're divided because everyone is forbidden to share with anyone else. And they are helpless because nobody has the source code, so nobody can change the program or even independently check what it does. And thus, proprietary software puts its developer in a position of power over the users. That's why it is an injustice. But what specifically do we mean by respect the user's freedom? What freedom is that? We always have to be specific. It's never enough just to say we're in favor of freedom, because the crucial questions are always the specifics. What freedom should everyone have? Free software means that the user has 4 essential freedoms. These are the definition of free software. These 4 freedoms are also the human rights that I believe every user of software is entitled to, without exception. Freedom 0 is the freedom to run the program as you wish, for whatever purpose. Freedom 1 is the freedom to study the source code of the program and change it to do what you want. Freedom 2 is the freedom to help your neighbor. That's the freedom to make copies and distribute them to others when you wish. And freedom 3 is the freedom to help your community. That's the freedom to distribute or publish modified versions when you wish. With all 4 of these freedoms, the software is free software, which means it is distributed in an ethical system that respects the user's freedoms. If one of these freedoms is missing, then the program is non-free software, and it shouldn't be being distributed at all. Its development is not a contribution to society if people have to give up their freedom in order to use it. But why are these 4 freedoms the essential freedoms? Why define free software this way? Freedom 2 is essential on basic moral grounds, so that you can live an upright life as a member of a community. Freedom 2 is the freedom to help your neighbor, the freedom to distribute copies to others. If you use a program that does not give you freedom 2, then you are in danger of falling at any moment into a moral dilemma. Whenever your friend says, "That's a nice program, could I have a copy?" At that moment, you will have to choose between 2 evils. One evil is give your friend a copy and violate the license of the program. The other evil is deny your friend a copy and comply with the license of the program. Being in the situation, you ought to choose the lesser of the two evils. The lesser evil is to give your friend a copy and violate the license of the program. This evil is lesser because we can presume that your friend has treated you well, is a good person, and that you would want to help your friend. We can presume this because the other case, where that person is a nasty person who's not really your friend, that's simple. You say, why should I help you? That case is easy. So we have to look at the case which is difficult. The case which is difficult is where that person really is a friend and really is a nice person, and you normally want to cooperate. So you shouldn't do evil to that person. Instead, you should do wrong to the developer of the program because he deserves it. He has deliberately attacked the social solidarity of your community. So if you can't help doing some kind of wrong to someone, aim it at him. That makes it less bad. However, to be the lesser evil does not mean it is good. It's never a good thing to make an agreement and then violate it. Some agreements are inherently evil, like this one, and it's better to violate them than keep them. But it's never good. And an unauthorized copy of a proprietary program is not a good thing. The only thing that's worse is an authorized copy of the proprietary program, because it does the same moral harm to the community, and in addition, the perpetrator of the scheme profits from it, usually. So, although this is the lesser evil, it's not really what you should do. What you should really do is avoid being in the dilemma. And there are two ways to avoid it. One is, don't have any friends. That's the method that the proprietary software developers prefer. The other method is, don't use this proprietary program. If you don't have a copy, then you can't fall into the dilemma. That's the method I use. If someone offers me a program, provided or anything good and useful that people might like, then if I'm offering it under the condition of promising not to share it, any kind of generally useful technical information, I refuse. I say, if I can't share it with you, I won't take it. I will not get it for myself through betrayal of the rest of society. The most important resource of any society is not a physical resource. It's a psychosocial resource. It's the spirit of goodwill, the spirit of helping your neighbor. This resource makes the difference between a livable society and a dog-eat-dog jungle. If you have a portable tracking device, please switch it off. They have already tracked you here. They already know you're listening to me. So you don't need to keep telling them. You can switch it off. And if they want to listen to my speech, well, they're welcome to come. This is why I don't have a portable telephone. I believe it is the citizen's duty to refuse to carry a tracking device.